So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you guys later. Just kidding. What's up, guys? So the Microsoft press conference, the reveal of the new Xbox. A lot of people were calling it Xbox Infinity, the Xbox 720, but no, it's called the Xbox One. I'm not a big fan of the name. Maybe I'm just not used to it. I already knew that it was called Xbox One because I didn't watch the press conference live. I was out. But I got a text message from my brother, and he was like, did you see the Xbox reveal and all that? And I was like, no, is it called the Infinity? And he's like, no, it's called Xbox One. And I'm like, when I watched it, all they were saying in the beginning was, the one, the one, the one. And I was like, just say it already, dude. Just instead of saying the 360, they want to say the one. Whatever. I'm not here to talk about the title of it. So I really don't want to compare the Xbox reveal and the PS4 reveal. They're different consoles. They've always been different consoles. But I will say that I did enjoy the PS4 reveal so much more than the Xbox One reveal. I think the PS4 had more things to show off, even though they didn't show off the console. And the Xbox One, they showed off the console, but they didn't really show off any games for it. And it's like, okay, looks nice. I would have preferred so much more to see games, more games like we did for the PS4 than the actual console. I could have waited for the console for E3, whatever. I want to get hyped for like the power of the Xbox One. Instead, what we got was them doing all this flashy stuff, showing us all these crazy things that the Xbox One could do, and it was impressive. I will admit it was impressive, but for a second, I forgot it was a gaming console. The PS4 is kind of doing the same thing. I don't know why gaming consoles want to connect so much with everything. Like, things that aren't even part of gaming. They just want to, like, add it all to the system and make it what they're calling this whole all-in-one system. They focus so much on showing you how the system changed from where you're like Xbox Home and then Xbox TV, Xbox Game, and the Xbox would change like almost immediately. That was impressive. I was like, wow, that's fast. But I was imagining myself and I'm like, I don't want to say that. I mean, obviously I think there's gotta be another option. I don't think you have to do that. I think you could probably do it all with control, like with the controller. I've never been a huge fan of motion sensor and voice recognition, so I don't have a Kinect. I have a Move, but just because it came with my PlayStation. I've never used it. I have a Wii, but the Wii was not very great in the motion sensor department. I'm not the type of gamer that likes that, so it didn't really appeal to me. I was like, it also changes screens with gestures and you're like, whoo, whoo. So I was like, okay, you know, whatever. They're showing off what it could do. Okay. I knew that the Xbox, the next Xbox was going to be capable of doing these kinds of things, especially after watching the Sony press conference. Because I was like, you know, the PS4 is doing it, the new Xbox has got to do something similar. When it comes to this whole all-in-one thing, I think Xbox One probably has a step up over the PS4. It's pretty cool that you could do, you know, you could have like watching a movie on here and then you could have like it not split the screen, but like say you've got the movie here and then on like a quarter of the screen over here on the side, like a little bar will open up. They call it snap mode. Like you could have Internet Explorer open over here on the little side while you're watching a movie. Or another big thing is that Xbox One is going to be able to connect with Skype. And you could have Skype on over here while watching a movie or while playing a game and all that. So that's impressive. I was like, that's pretty cool. But that's not what I would want the console for. I mean, I felt like this press conference was geared towards a specific type of gamer. I'm pretty sure they have so much things to reveal in E3. They said they were going to have a lot of games to reveal. One of the guys said that in the first year they had like 15 Xbox exclusives coming out, and that 8 of them were new IPs. So that was exciting, and I was like, dude, I want to know more of that. But they didn't really, they were focusing on a specific type of gamer, and I was like, why didn't they show off more stuff? You know, to like hook a wider audience of gamers. Now, I'm mentioning this just for an example, not so much to compare, but like with the PS4, they had a variety of different games that they showed off for different types of gamers. The specs were kind of over my head, but they sounded pretty impressive. I'll put them up on the screen really quick so you guys could see that for those of you that are interested. The guy also said that it had 3 operating systems. One of them was specifically for cinematics and developers so that they could use that operating system to make cinematics more realistic and have more opportunity with it and doing more things, which sounded cool. I was like, that's awesome. They've got a whole operating system that's just for that. The second operating system was for the Windows thing, like maneuvering through the web and all that. The third one connected both of these operating systems to create multitasking and make it flow easy and stuff like that. Whenever I hear this stuff, I always stop to think. Now, I don't know if this applies. Okay, they've got 3 operating systems and they all focus on one thing. Imagine if they forgot about this whole all-in-one thing and they actually treated it as a gaming console. Could you imagine the power it would have if it was just focused on gaming? Could you imagine those 3 operating systems for each for something in when it comes to gaming? Like one of them for cinematics, one of them for something else. And you know, like that. It would be freaking amazing. I'm not like very tech savvy. Is it logical for me to think that? Or is it like, oh no, they couldn't do that anyways? Because if they couldn't do that anyways, then okay, whatever, I understand then. But if they could, what the hell? Anyways, just like the PS4, the Move was integrated in the PS4 now. Well, the Kinect is now integrated in the Xbox One, and that doesn't really make me very happy because I always liked the Kinect to be separate. I always liked it to be kind of like an accessory. If you want it, get it. If you don't, don't. But now it's integrated in the system, and that means that games now could have that option where you have to use it. Because everyone has it now. Nobody could say, oh, well, I don't have the Kinect. You guys have to appeal to me too. Now it's like, oh no, all of you guys have motion sensor and voice recognition, so now you're going to use it in our games. I'm telling you, I said this in my PS4 video, we're all being forced to change our ways of gaming, whether we like it or not. It's all going to be pushed on us like, okay, it's integrated, now use it. I mean, hopefully there's still a sense of option there. Hopefully, I don't know. So the Kinect is a big part of the Xbox now, the Xbox One. The voice commands, the gestures, it actually recognizes when you pick up your controller. It could read your heart rate. So it's highly improved now. Which is, again, like I said, it's impressive, but I'm like, I don't want it. I don't need it. I've never needed it. And now it's obvious that the price is going to go up because of it, because it's integrated in there. I mean, if it didn't have the Kinect integrated and it was still separate, they wouldn't be able to raise the price as much as they are now. There's no way that an Xbox One without Kinect is going to cost the same as an Xbox One with Kinect. There's no waiting. Like I said, every time you say something like Xbox Home, Xbox TV, it's almost like you're changing your channel on your TV. But the guy kept on doing it over and over. Like he did an example and then he's like, let me show you guys again. We get the point, man. And I swear that audience was paid, dude. That audience was paid. They were so excited about everything. And you don't always see that in a press conference. That's not very common. Like if you watch E3 press conferences, they'll crack jokes on the stage. Yeah, this is what we got. Let me show you guys again. And the audience will be dead silent. And in this one, the audience was like, I swear there was teleprompters or something, you know, where the people were probably like. The Xbox One controller is pretty much the same as the Xbox. It's got a little bit different on the top, like more of a glossy feel on top, but it pretty much looks the same. The 360 one was a little more simple. This one's more sleek looking. The achievements are a little more in depth now. Like now it actually shows like what kind of gamer you are and how you play a specific game. Like it showed like different scores, not just what you earn. Then Electronic Arts goes on the stage and they start talking about EA Sports. And then Forza 5. And then they showed something that actually piqued my interest. This was one of the highlights of the press conference for me. They start talking about Remedy, the people behind Alan Wake. I've always found it really interesting when games integrate like movie aspects into a game. Like when it comes to the storytelling, like it almost feels like a movie. It seems like Xbox One is taking that to the next level, and that was interesting because they showed off a game called Quantum Break. And it actually mixed in movie scenes, like actually filmed scenes. I think this isn't the first game to do this. I want to say I've seen other games do bits and pieces of this. Not like a full game though, but like they add like little pieces of movies. This was like full on scenes and gameplay mixed. And it looked really cool. I mean, if it's going to be a good game, who knows? But it's Remedy is doing this. They were saying that they really want to take the style of storytelling and say movies and mixing it with the interactivity of games. That sounded kind of interesting to me. It was something that I've never seen before where you're just like, this is next gen. There were two things that made me pique my interest. Then they started talking about Halo. I was like, another Halo game? No way. They start talking about this live action TV series, and I'm like, Forward Unto Dawn was really good. I loved that. It's a TV series, but I think they're adding the interactivity of games. So I think it's going to be an interactive TV series on your Xbox because they said it was a premium Xbox One TV series. And I think the way that they're going to be doing it is that you're going to be watching Halo, the TV series, over here. And then you're going to have that whole snap mode where you have a split of the scene on Internet Explorer or something like that. And it's going to have you interact with the show, I think. Like, you know, ask you questions or something where you interact with it. I think that's how it's going to be. At least that's what they made it seem like. Steven Spielberg is on board. I think he's the one that's freaking making this happen. It's got to be on some level of epicosity. I mean, mix Halo and freaking Steven Spielberg. And then they talk about this whole bring fantasy football. And the ending was dedicated, maybe like 10 minutes, dedicated to Call of Duty Ghosts. And then I glanced over and looked at the graphics, and I will admit, they looked really good. The new engine for Call of Duty Ghosts looks really crisp, amazing. So it just kind of got me pumped for some new games that they didn't show. That's what's really going to make me decide whether the Xbox One is even worth me wanting to get the exclusives. Not so much everything that it does with the TV and the whole, what did they call it? TV relationship and intelligent TV and all that. I mean, as interesting as that is, I really don't need that. So that's pretty much it for the actual press conference. Now I'm going to go over a few things that I read about the Xbox One that were revealed by different websites. But I got my information from Kotaku. I'll provide the link in the description so you could go and read the article, because it does have some extra things that they got from interviews, I believe, not so much from the press conference. And they're not all great news. They're actually kind of disappointing. I remember reading even last year that these were some of the concerns that people had for the next gen Xbox, even for the PS4. But the PS4 almost proved to be better than the Xbox One when it comes to this stuff. You'll have to install games before you play them, and it will connect to your Xbox Live account. You could connect it to a second account, but you'll have to pay a fee. Used games are the whole always online thing. That was just a rumor. It's not true. The Xbox One doesn't have to be online always. You could play games without accessing the internet. Microsoft will release Xbox exclusives that are only online, so you would have to connect to the internet to play those games. But that all depends on the developer, if they want you to access the internet or not. But then I read this. At the very least, Xbox One has to connect to the internet every 24 hours for single-player games. That's not much of an issue for me, but I know that it's an issue for a lot of people, especially when it comes to internet connections and stuff like that. Your gamer score on the 360 will transfer to the Xbox One. Some devs already confirmed that Assassin's Creed 4, Watch Dogs, Destiny, Thief, and Battlefield 4 are on the Xbox One. The Xbox One is not backwards compatible. You know, that's not surprising, but it sucks. And there is going to be some sort of way, it's still not known how, but some sort of way of trading games online. So my overall thoughts, I wasn't extremely excited, at least with what I saw in the press conference. Who knows, after E3, maybe, but the press conference was for me. Like I said, I hate the whole all-in-one system. I hate that the Kinect is now integrated in it. The price range is now going to be so much higher because of that. The whole tech is impressive, but it's not what I look for in a gaming console. The look of the console is nice. It looked sleek, you know, it was like all black, simple. But I didn't really like the two textures on it though, because it's like half of it is gloss and then the other half is what do they call it, matted? Like that matted texture. And I'm like, okay, I'd prefer it if it was all gloss. I mean, it gets fingerprints all over the place, but still, I mean, if you keep it clean and all that, it looks so much nicer than the matte. Not a big deal, but yeah, just my thoughts when I just first saw it. I'm still not fully judging either console, PS4 or Xbox One, because I'm waiting for E3. I think that's where I'm really going to be able to decide whether it's worth getting these consoles or whether I should just, you know, put all my money into getting a powerful PC, which is going to happen, by the way. And I'm actually going to be able to get it for less money, turns out, which is freaking amazing. My cousin is helping me out, so he says that I could get a pretty powerful PC. He could build me a pretty powerful PC. He's got some connections or something, but yeah. Let me know what you think about the new console, Xbox One. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What did you think about the press conference? So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.